Hello learners, I'm Neetu Sharma and I teach English in Government High School Kamalpur, District Sangrur. Dear children, in today's session we will learn the rules and regulations of tenses. But proceeding further, let me know what do you mean by tense? Very good. Tense is the form of a verb used to show the time of an action or a state. Okay, now let me know what are the different types of tenses. There are three main tenses: past, present, and future. In English, each of these tenses can take four main aspects: simple, perfect, continuous and perfect continuous. प्यारे बच्चों, हाले तक असी सिर्फ tenses और उन्हां दे types बारे पढ़िया. चलो हुण उन्हां दे rules and regulations पढ़दे हां. Now, let's first of all take up simple present tense, जिसनों असी indefinite tense भी कहंदे हां. Form: this has the same form as the root form, infinitive without to, of the verb. S or es is edited for the third person singular: he, she, it. The negative is formed with do not plus first form, does not plus first form of the verb for the third person singular. The interrogative is formed with do does plus subject plus first form of the verb. Simple present tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ first form of the verb ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, लेकिन he, she, it ਦੇ ਨਾਲ यानी कि singular subjects ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ s और es ਲਗਾ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਹਾਂ. Negative ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ do not plural subject ਦੇ ਨਾਲ और does not singular subject ਦੇ ਨਾਲ लगाने हैं. Interrogative अगर ਅਸੀਂ बनाना है तो उसकी form किस तरह होएगी? सब तो पहले do does, फिर subject and then first form of the verb. Now let's take up some examples. I play, I do not play. He plays, he does not play. Do I play? Do I not play? Does he play? Does he not play? Now let's move to present continuous tense. Form: this tense is formed with is, am, are plus first form of the verb plus ing. The negative is formed by putting not after is, am, are. The interrogative is formed by placing is, am, are before the subject. Present continuous tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ? is, am, are ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ और first form of the verb ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ing ਲਗਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. उसी तरह नेगेटिव दे विच आपां नॉट लगाने आ is, am, are तो बाद और इंटरोगेटिव दे विच आपां सब्जेक्ट तो पहला ही is, am, are लगा दिंदे आ. Now let's take up some example. I am singing, I am not singing. We are singing, we are not singing. She is singing, she is not singing. Are you singing? Are you not singing? Am I singing? Am I not singing? Is she singing? Is she not singing? Children, now let's move further. Present perfect tense. Form. This tense is formed with has, have plus third form of the verb. The negative is formed by putting not after has, have. The interrogative is formed by placing has, have before the subject. Present perfect tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ has, have ਲੈਣੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ third form of the verb ਲਗਾਣੇ ਆ। ਅਗਰ ਆਪਾਂ negative ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ has, have ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ not ਲਗਾ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਆ। Interrogative form ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ subject ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ has, have ਲਗਾ ਦਿੰਨੇ ਆ। Has singular subject ਲਈ ਔਰ have plural subject ਲਈ। Now let's have some examples. I have written the letter. I have not written the letter. We have written the letter. We have not written the letter. He has written the letter. He has not written the letter. Have you written the letter? Have you not written the letter? Have I written the letter? Have I not written the letter? Has he written the letter? Has he not written the letter? Now, let's have a look upon the rules and regulations of present perfect continuous tense. This tense is formed with has, have plus been plus first form of the verb plus ing. The negative is formed by putting not after has, have. The interrogative is formed by placing has, have before the subject. इस टेंस ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ has, have plus been B-E-E-N been plus first form of the verb ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ing ਲਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਅਗਰ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਸੇਮ ਉਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ has, have ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ not ਲਗਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਔਰ interrogative form ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ subject ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ has, have ਲਗਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। Examples. It has been raining since 6 a.m. They have not been playing for 2 hours. How long have you been waiting here? ਇਹ ਕੁਝ examples ਨੇ present perfect continuous tense ਦੇ। ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਾ present ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ all 4 parts discuss ਕਰ ਲਏ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਿੰਪਲ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਫਰਸਟ ਫਾਰਮ ਲਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਔਰ ਅਗਰ ਸਿੰਗੂਲਰ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਐਸ ਔਰ ਈਐਸ। ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਜ਼ ਐਮ ਆਰ ਪਲਸ V1 ਪਲਸ ing ਔਰ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਪਰਫੈਕਟ ਟੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੈਜ਼, ਹੈਵ ਪਲਸ ਥਰਡ ਫਾਰਮ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਵਰਬ ਔਰ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਪਰਫੈਕਟ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਲਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਹੈਜ਼, ਹੈਵ ਪਲਸ ਬੀਨ plus first form of the verb plus ing. Dear children, in simple past tense, this tense is formed with second form of the verb. The negative is formed with did not plus first form of the verb. The interrogative is formed with did plus subject plus first form of the verb. बच्चों अगर ਆਪਾਂ simple past ਨੂੰ simple present ਦੇ ਨਾਲ comparison ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ simple past ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ second form of the verb use ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। Negative ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ did not plus ਫਸਟ ਫਾਰਮ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਵਰਬ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਔਰ ਅਗਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਇੰਟਰੋਗੇਟਿਵ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਲਿਖਾਂਗੇ did, ਫਿਰ subject and then first form of the verb. Some examples. I bought this pen. I did not buy this pen. He bought this pen. He did not buy this pen. Did he buy this pen? Did he not buy this pen? Now, let's move to past continuous tense. This tense is formed by was were plus first form of the verb plus ing. The negative is formed by putting not after was were. The interrogative is formed by placing was were before the subject. ਇਸ tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ was were ਦੇ ਨਾਲ first form of verb plus ing. Was singular subject ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਔਰ were plural subject ਦੇ ਨਾਲ. Negative ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ was were ਦੇ ਨਾਲ not ਲਗਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ interrogative ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ subject ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ was were ਲਗਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ. Examples. I was sleeping. I was not sleeping. We were sleeping. We were not sleeping. He was sleeping. He was not sleeping. Were you sleeping? Were you not sleeping? Was I sleeping? Was I not sleeping? Was he sleeping? Was he not sleeping? Now, let's move to past perfect tense. This tense is formed with had plus third form of the verb. The negative is formed by putting not after had. The interrogative is formed by placing had before the subject. ਇਸ tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ had ਦੇ ਨਾਲ third form of the verb ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੈ. Negative ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ had ਦੇ ਨਾਲ not ਲਗਾਣਾ ਹੈ. Interrogative ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ subject ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ had ਲਗਾਣਾ ਹੈ. For examples, I had played. I had not played. We had played. We had not played. He had played. He had not played. In interrogative form, had you played? Had you not played? Had I played? Had I not played? Had he played? Had he not played? Now, let's come to the fourth part of past tense, that is past perfect continuous tense. This tense is formed with had plus been plus first form of the verb plus ing. The negative is formed by putting not after had. The interrogative is formed by placing had before the subject. ਇਸ tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ had plus been plus first form of the verb plus ing ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ. Negative ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ had ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ not ਲੱਗੇਗਾ ਔਰ interrogative ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ subject ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ had. For example, the baby had been crying for 10 minutes. Until he reached 8th class, Ravi had not been studying in a village school. This is the negative form. Had he been trying to phone her? And this is the interrogative form of past perfect continuous tense. Dear children, up till now we have discussed all the parts of present and past. Let's revise. In simple present tense, we use first form of the verb, and in simple past tense, we use second form of the verb. In present continuous tense, we used is, am, are plus first form of the verb plus I and G. And in past continuous tense, we use was, were plus V1 plus ing. In present perfect tense, we have has, have plus V3. And in past perfect tense, we used had plus V3. In present perfect continuous tense, the rules are has, have plus been plus V1 plus ing. Whereas in past perfect continuous tense, we use had plus been plus V1 plus ing. Now, let's move further and try to find out the rules and regulations of future tense. Simple future tense. This tense is formed with will, shall plus first form of the verb. The negative is formed with will, shall not plus first form of the verb. The interrogative is formed with will, shall plus subject plus first form of the verb. Simple future tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ will, shall ਤੇ first form of the verb use ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. Negative बनाना ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ will, shall ਦੇ ਨਾਲ not ਲਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ first form of the verb. और अगर ਆਪਾਂ interrogative sentence बनाना है तो ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ will, shall ਤੇ subject and then first form of the verb. Examples: I shall go to the school. I shall not go to the school. He will go to the school. He will not go to the school. Shall I go to the school? Shall I not go to the school? Let's move to future continuous tense. This tense is formed with will, shall plus be plus first form of the verb plus ing. The negative is formed by putting not after will, shall. The interrogative is formed by will, shall plus subject plus be plus first form of the verb plus ing. Future continuous tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ will, shall ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ be ਲਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, BEB, और first form of verb ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ing. Negative बनाना होवे ਤਾਂ will, shall ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ not ਲਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ. Interrogative sentence ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ will, shall ਫਿਰ subject, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ be, BEB, and then first form of the verb plus ing. Some examples: I will be taking the examination in March. In negative form, he will not be coming to us tonight. Interrogative sentence: will you be going to the market today? Dear children, now let's have a look upon the rules and regulation of future perfect tense. This tense is formed with will, shall plus have plus third form of the verb. The negative is formed by putting not after will, shall. The interrogative is formed by putting will, shall before the subject. इस tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ will, shall plus have plus third form of the verb लगता है. अगर negative बनाना है तो will, shall तो बाद not लगा दो. अगर interrogative बनाना है तो subject तो पहला will, shall. Examples: the gardener will have trimmed all these plants by this evening. In negative form, I shall have not revised all these lessons by Saturday. interrogative form. Shall you have learnt all these theorems by tomorrow? Now let's move to the last part, that is future perfect continuous tense. This tense is formed with will shall plus have plus be plus first form of the verb plus ing. ਇਸ tense ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ will shall plus have plus been ਤੇ first form of verb ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ing ਲਗਾਵਾਂਗੇ. Example, when he retires in August, he will have been working in this office for 30 years. Dear children, this is all about the tenses. Now let's revise one more time. Dear children, let's have a look upon the rules and regulation of tenses in the form of table. Now, in simple present, we use first form of the verb plus s or es. For interrogatives and negative, we use do and does. For simple past, second form of the verb, and for negative and interrogative, we use did. For simple future, we use will shall plus first form of the verb. In present continuous, we use is mr plus first form of verb plus ing. And for past continuous, we use was were plus first form of verb plus ing. And in future continuous tense, we use will shall plus be plus first form of verb plus ing. बेटा ध्यान नाल देखो, इस दे विच continuous form दे विच form of verb same ही है, that is V1 plus ing. Present भी, past which भी और future. Now let's have a look upon the rules and regulation of perfect form, that is present perfect, have has plus third form of the verb, and in past we have had plus third form of the verb. In future, will shall plus have plus third form of the verb. इस which we सारी जगह third form of the verb ही use हुई है. In present perfect continuous tense, have has plus been plus first form of verb plus ing. And in past perfect continuous tense, we have had been plus first form of verb plus ing. And in future, we have will shall plus have plus been plus first form of verb plus ing. इस which we form of verb been plus first form of verb plus ing ही repeat हुआ है. Dear children, this is all for this session. But before winding up, your homework for today is try to learn and write the table of tenses. In the next session, we will try to understand the usage of present tense. प्यारे बच्चों, आज ਦਾ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਹੀ ਖਤਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. ਅਗਲੇ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ प्रेजेंट टेंस की यूजेज और एप्लीकेशन कि आप प्रेजेंट टेंस यूज कितने करना है वो पढ़ांगे. थैंक यू. हैव अ नाइस डे.